God, I have a letter here from me to dad, and I want to let you know, my dear little sad. Dear God, a letter here from me to dad, and I want to let you know. It goes, dear dad, I really didn't get to know you, and sometimes I sit and wonder and it makes me blue. But there's one memory that stays on the back of my mind, and this memory got me thinking about you all the time. Whoa.
Roots, reggae, and a legacy that runs deep. Kemani Marley has carved his own path in music and film. From hit tracks to iconic movie roles, he's more than just the son of a legend. He's a force in his own right. And Kemani, I must tell you, we are absolutely grateful that you were able to take time out of your busy schedule to join us on this significant day when it's your father's 80th. We really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me. You know, when IRFM called me, I have to answer. So thanks for having me.
Yeah, we appreciate it. And, today we are going on your journey because, you have done so many great interviews just to talk about your music and your influences. But today we want to take a deeper dive into Kemani Marley, talk about your foundation. What was it like growing up in rural Jamaica in Falmouth?
From humble beginnings, I left Falmouth when I was 8 years old, but definitely remember the countryside, remember the feeling of that, that family of when them say it takes a village to raise a child. So I remember being that child being raised by that village in Falmouth, and then, leaving shortly after that at 8 years old to the inner cities of Miami, which was definitely quite a change,
I can imagine.
Oh man, so you're coming from this beautiful countryside where, everyone knows who you are and everyone is there to make sure that you get back and forth safely, to going into an environment that was very, what I would say now, very, very volatile, very volatile. So it was definitely a shift, but it helped to mold me into the person I am today. So, I have no regrets.
Share with us something that you admired about your mom. Like, what was it like as a youth, as a child?
Well, I tell people all the time, I say my mother, from I can remember as a child, when I guess kids used to get the regular bedtime stories, whether it be the cow jump over the moon or the old lady in the tree. I not even know the story then, right? so my mother was a lady that, my bedtime story was always about the revolutionaries and the revolution, that's taking place around the world. So, you teach me about Stephen Biko, Marcus Garvey, Fidel Castro, Malcolm X, you name it. So, yes, and a very strong woman. Did her very best to raise me as a child, and sometimes I know for her it wasn't easy because, being a boy pitney in a house with majority women, they had a little trouble on their hand where I was concerned. But is a strong black woman, and she raised me to be a strong man. She raised me to really stand up and fight for myself, and and never be afraid to express who I am, or never be afraid to let my voice be heard. And that, I love her dearly.
Do you have a standout memory or experience with your dad?
With my dad, I have one memory with my dad, and that was him picking me up from Falmouth. We went up into 9 Miles, and I think he had just got back from America and brought this slingshot that was made of iron. So we did used to just pick in the little tree branch and add in the rubber band and of that, but his one was well crafted. And so I remember going into the bushes, me and my older brother Stephen. And there was another gentleman there with us as well. I don't remember who. But somehow on the way back, the slingshot got lost in the bushes on the way back. And I remember going back and Stephen saying to me, you lose the slingshot. I mean, I said, no, I don't mean lose the slingshot. Are you? And I said,
Eh.
no, you lose a slingshot and daddy I gonna beat you. So I remember, just having that on my mind, walking back to the house where he was. And I remember walking straight up to him and just saying, daddy, me lose the slingshot. And I remember him look down on me and smile. And, at that point I knew I wasn't getting a beating. And I went back around, I went back on my
Yeah.
way and went back to playing. And
Wow.
that is my only memory of my father.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Now, being an only child for your mom, was it difficult to kind of integrate into a blended family?
When you say a blended family, what? Oh, you mean with my brothers?
With your brothers, yes.
No, no, and I want to tell you, my older brother Stephen, I say it all the time. Without him, we wouldn't be what we are today because he really took on that responsibility of being not only big brother, but being, I don't want to say father, but making sure that we were properly guided, making sure that we knew what this legacy was about and making sure that we were together, that we are a unified force. So he made that quite easy for us, and forever grateful. And I tell him that all the time. If it wasn't for him, we wouldn't be what we are right now.
Wow, wow, that's amazing. Can you remember like how old you were when you really realized that your dad is like the legendary Bob Marley?
Why? I think I'm still realizing now because this thing here, it continued to get. I watched this legacy continue to grow and grow year after year, and for me, for a while, as a youth growing up, it didn't really dawn on me. I knew, my father was Robert Nesta Marley. I knew he was a great man. I knew, people loved him, but I didn't really know the impact, that he had on not just Jamaica, but on the world. And yes, I would say maybe around high school when it really
Yeah,
dawned on
yeah,
me that wow, this man, outside of being my father, this man is really a gift to the world.
yeah. You know what I want to ask you though, because like earlier on when you mentioned like that's the only memory like you can remember with your dad, does it, like bother you that you didn't have more childhood memories, with your father?
I won't say it bother me. Of course, I would have loved to, you
Yes.
know, but it's destiny, and I think it was sad to lose him at the age that we lost him at, but at the same time, God had a plan, and everything, is in a timely manner, and I think it was just ordained, and that is a part of why he is not here in the flesh, but very still much here in the spirit, and very still active in a lot of people' life, day to day life. So everything happened for a reason, because sometimes when you look back on some of our black stars and our black leader, you find so the system find a way to diminish them, to really break them down before the passing, so them have that stain. Them leave with that stain on them names, such as like even a James Brown, or you have a Michael Jackson, where the name was tarnished before them transition. So, they didn't get that they didn't get that opportunity to do that
Yeah, yeah.
to my father, to Bob Marley, and so that name is very potent. And it means a lot to the people around the world. Every time I have a conversation with even people to this day is always coming and telling me that your father teach me English. And I say, what do you mean father teach you English? And they say, I never teach not one word of English, but them could have sing every Bob Marley song word for word. And then you have the people that come and say, oh, your father saved my life through the music. And it's just, it's one of those things that it's an overwhelming feeling at time. And, it's just one of those things that everything in time, God know why I'm do.
No, absolutely. I get you. And as you mentioned, just the Marley name, like growing up Marley, were you ever pressured to say, like follow your, in your father's footsteps?
No, not me. Like I said, I grew up very humble beginnings. So, didn't have any gold spoon. I grew in the inner city, so where you still had to fend for yourself. It didn't matter what your name was when you're living on a block and your house is the worst house on the block. So, the Marley name was there as a title, but it didn't really, my younger days growing up, it didn't have that much effect, and then I've always been a free spirit. I believe that we have this one life to live. We don't know what we do from here. And so my thing is to always to live it at my fullest and not be locked inside of a box because of people expectations. It's not every time I get it right. But I'm a work in progress.
Yeah, I
I'm
love
a
that.
work in progress, and the one thing I can say is that I truly live my life as a free spirit, and I wouldn't live it any other way.
Amazing. I read that when you were going through high school or going to high school, sports and music were two things that you focused on. You played some instruments and, of course, soccer and American football. Talk to us about balancing the two things and when you actually, the realization hit that you can be an artist, you can sing, like you have that talent.
All right. So for me, growing up, music wasn't a thing for me. Music, I didn't grow up saying I wanted to do music. For me, it was always about sports. And I want to tell you, my career start like I'm at a friend house, right? And a friend had a sound system. He's playing out one night, and him said to me, "Give me a dub plate." So I said, "Give you a dub plate." Me not sing. And I said, "So what? It no matter if you sing or not. You need Marley. Give me a dub plate. I want a
Hey.
dub plate." So I said, "All right." I take the mic now and start fool around a little bit. And a brother by the name of Carl Peterson, a producer out of Jamaica named Carl Peterson, happened to walk into the session that night and said, he said, "You have a nice tone. He never say, you know if you sing. He say, "You have a nice tone. Should come down to the studio and see what we can do, and see what happens." So I started going over to his studio on a Saturday maybe for like 2 hours a day. Just fooling around, and one of the first songs I wrote was a song titled, yeah, you just play it actually, Dear Dad,
Dear Dad.
right? And I wrote that song probably at about 15, 16 years old.
Wow.
Um, had the song for a while, and just, when people listen to the song, the reaction that I got from it, um, you know, I think made me know that I had something there. And then when the song was released, I was with Clinton Hill, God bless him soul. I was with Clinton Hill, and Clinton Hill debuted it on the station, and the amount of calls that we got that day of people, pulling off the road and crying because the song touched them so deeply. That was when I realized that okay, there is power in the music and there is power in the message. And at that point, I decided that all right, I'm gonna pay a little bit more attention. Still never say,
Wow. Can I tell you, this is
still
like one
never
of
say I'm going
my
to be a musician. I'm going to give a little bit more attention and see what goes.
and Dear Dad is like one of my favorite songs, like from your catalog. Like I really love that song. I don't know if it's because it's just the raw emotions and just how you're wailing in the song, but I wanted to take us back to that moment and that experience, like being a teenager and writing this song, clearly for your dad.
So like I tell you, when I wrote Dear Dad, I didn't start saying that I wanted to write a song about my father. That wasn't the intention. Actually, I was trying to write something else, but I was having some writer's block. And so I opened the Bible, and just start read a little bit. And I read the Bible for about a good 30 minutes, 40 minutes. And when I turned back on the rhythm and went back to the pad, the first thought that came to mind was, Dear God. Even with that, I didn't have no idea what was about to happen. And once the Dear God hit the paper, the song pretty much wrote itself. That for me, tell people all the time, that for me was the easiest song and the hardest song to write at the same time, because easy being that there was never a thought of what the next line would be. It's almost like my hand went into autopilot, and all the emotion started to flow out. And in that time, I realized that this is therapy. This is bottled up feelings that I have inside that needed to be released. So now I'm writing a song and crying at the same time. And up to when I just started performing that song on stage for maybe like the first, I'm kidding not, maybe like the first 2, 3 years, I would always tear up in the middle of that song and would have to, catch my composure and, and come back to it again. So yeah, that song for me is still to today is if I was to ask if I have a favorite song, that would be my favorite song because of what it means to me.
Wow, I definitely can see that. And so here it is, just by the way, you natural talent, you churn out this awesome song that is impacting people that you don't know and they're sharing their experiences with you. At what point leading up from there did you, come to the realization that you want to take this thing seriously now, like to record more songs and put out?
Yeah, I think once that song went, all right, so I had this one show, right, and a gentleman came up to me at the time, an older man for me, came up to me and he was crying and telling me that I saved his life. Now, at the time when him telling me that, I take it for a joke, I like, all right, I wish crazy, wish crazy all this now, what is now me I go here? And he said to me that he had lost his father, said he didn't grow with any mother or any siblings, it was just him and his father. And he said he lost his father and was in his room contemplating suicide, right? He said that he had the gun in his hand because for him, he had nothing else to live for. His father was the only person he knew, the only person who loved and cared for him. And he said for some reason, he didn't know at the time what was in the CD player, but he said for some reason, something told him to press play on the CD player without even looking what was in. And he said the song Dear Dad came on. And he said when Dear Dad came on for him, he felt as though that was his father who told him to press play, to get that message to him. And he said it was in that moment that he decided that he wanted to live and,
Wow.
and die. And for me, that was very touching because, I have a man that's telling me a story and literally is crying at the same time of telling me till it almost brought me to tears. And in that moment, I know that this journey is more serious than than I expected or than I thought it would be. And then and so here I am
That
now.
was it. Wow. And, I know you said, you are also a free spirit, but then the Marley brand is deeply rooted in reggae and Rastafari. How do you balance, like honoring the tradition while evolving as an artist and being you?
It's the mind thing is just about just trying to be a good person. My thing is really about being a good person. And, I walk that thin line of, I walk that sharp line of, what you call it, of danger. So, so for me, it was just all about being true to myself and just being, the best person I can be to family and friends and, people around me. I mean, just a good person in general. So I don't really try to, I have nothing to prove. You know what I mean? I don't try to come holier than thou. I don't try to come and preach. I just come and try, show some love and do the best that I can for society, give back as much as I can, and that's it.
That's just, your philosophy and mantra.
That is it.
Now, let's talk about film. How did you get involved in movies? How did that happen?
All right. So the first movie I shot was Shutters, and if you know, Shutters
Big
was shot by
deal.
pretty much a bunch of friends. And I think for me, just like every other youth, you watch movies, you see all your heroes on the screen, and you dream of wanting to be an actor, but never really took the time to. Well, we didn't have the outlet for that, at least not for me at the time. And so my brethren said, Silvera, come, give me the script. And I said, yo, me have this movie more and I love if you can play this character. And, I jumped at it. And for me, it was very easy because at that time of my life, being in the inner cities, being raised in the ghetto of Miami,
It
them
was
say art
natural.
imitate life. right? So art imitate life. So playing that role wasn't hard at all.
No, look here. You embodied that role. Like you take it on. It was so believable, and it became a cult classic to this very day. Like, people have their
I live a
moments.
real life, I live a very, very, very real life. I can say maybe as a youth, I might had a little bitterness, knowing who my father is, and seeing my conditions at the time might have made me, somewhat bitter. But I come in an environment where you're either predator or prey. You know what I mean? And I wasn't going to be prey, so I decided to say, me I go walk the walk and talk the talk, and anything come, anything goes. And so yeah, so to play the role wasn't really too far off of the life I was living at the time.
Let's talk a little bit about that bitterness that you felt in your younger days, though. How were you able to sweeten that over? I'm sure it's over time, but like you said, when you think about who your dad is and just how you were living at the time.
Well, all right, let me tell you. You see the bitterness. You see when I look back now, if I had to do it all over again, I wouldn't change not one thing. Like I said, for me as a youth, I don't know if you know what, for me as a youth, so me leave Falmouth, countryside, from a little board house, what they on building blocks, this little bushy yard, yeah. And then when I heard that I was moving to America, I'm a visionary, so everything, when I imagine things, I can see it vividly. So when I got the call that I was moving to America, I start see the house, I see the picket fence. My little cousin, I remember my little cousin call and say, me in the kitchen, I play Dolly house. I said, kitchen? At them time, I'm there for when I no kitchen and outside, we are cooking outside bathroom and them things.
Yeah.
I start imagine some things when I sip on TV, this elaborate kitchen and this big, beautiful house and all kind of thing. And I remember flying into Miami in the night and just seeing all the lights and, just feeling like, yes, this is it. It was a night. I remember when I got to the house in the night and I was like,
I'm so sorry.
Me, I see.
I'm so sorry. I have to cut you. We're going to come back to that, but I really have to take Cash Pot, but don't go anywhere. We're going to pick up that story. So,
all right.
Cash Pot is next. Don't go anywhere.
Oxymaster, make everything cleaner.
The time by Oxymaster, the Stain Blaster is...
It is now 12:59. We are standing by. Listen up your top draw dollars. Pick 2, pick 3, pick 4, hot pick, and Cash Pot lunchtime draws up next.
While driving through Jamaica, there's only one radio station I listen to, IRA FM.
I listen to everything on IRA FM. IRA FM on Sunday. IRA FM on Monday. IRA FM on Tuesday. IRA FM on Wednesday. IRA FM on Thursday. I say on Friday is IRA FM and on Saturday is IRA FM. And you have a next day?
A long time on reggae radio. Yeah man.
Hey yo! It's Bounty Killer in the building, checking out
the #1 station.
The Supreme Ventures Lottery Games. This could be your lucky day. Get your tickets out and let the games begin.
Good afternoon. It's Thursday, February 6, 2025. I am Dehandra and welcome to this afternoon's live game draw. Before we begin, here's a quick look at the mid-morning winning numbers. Remember, all Supreme Ventures live game draws are supervised by the Betting, Gaming and Lotteries Commission and observed by the independent auditing firm PwC. Now, get your tickets out as we're going to put some money in your top draw. This afternoon's jackpot has climbed to $600,000. Here now are your winning top draw numbers. The first number to make its way up and down is 19. Then we have a solid 10. Up next, 13. Here comes a double 11. And for your 600,000, you're going to need the number 17. Now, let's pick your player with our dollars game. I hope you're feeling lucky. And the first dollars number to make its way up and come down is 3. Next up, 14. Here comes 24. 35 is next, followed by 23, 19, 36, and here comes 32 as well, 26, and we have a long 31. Up next, 28. And we wrap things up with 34. It's time for some easy winnings with our Pick 2 game. So get your tickets out. Here we go. The first Pick 2 number is 35. Second number will be 4. Once again, the winning Pick 2 numbers are 35 and 4. Up next, you can play it 3 ways. It is our Pick 3 game. The first Pick 3 number to make its way up will be 3. Second Pick 3 number, what will it be? 1. And the third and final Pick 3 number, here we go. 6. Once again, the winning Pick 3 numbers are 3, 1, and 6. It's now time to turn up your winnings. So get ready for Pick 4. The first Pick 4 number to make its way up is 3. Then we have 4. And the third Pick 4 number, what will it be? 1. And the fourth and final Pick 4 number, here we go. 8. So once again, the winning Pick 4 numbers are 3, 4, 1, and 8. This one, super duper easy for win. So let's heat things up with Hot Pick. And the balls are bubbling. What will the winning Hot Pick number be? It is a 9. Congrats to all Hot Pick winners. Again, the winning Hot Pick number is 9. For every $10 cashpot bet, you can win $280. Let's get ready to play our cashpot game for Thursday, February 6, 2025. You live to play it, but can you win it? Get ready to be a big cashpot winner, and let's see what the winning cashpot number will be. And this afternoon's winning cashpot number is 29. Congrats to all cashpot winners. Again, the winning cashpot number is 29. Now, let's mega your winnings. Good luck. And the balls are bubbling. What will it be? And a white ball was selected. Now, it's time for the monster winnings. So keep your tickets out and let's play. And the balls are bubbling. What will it be? Will it be red? Will it be white? And a monster ball was selected. Remember to go mega and monster 6 times per day for cashpot for more chances to win. The winning cashpot number is 29. Lucky Mark Parson. And for mega, a white ball was selected for Pick 3, Pick 4, cashpot, and Hot Pick. And for monster, a monster ball was selected for cashpot. Now, let's take a look at this afternoon's winning numbers. Congratulations to everyone who won. Players have won over 46 billion in winnings in 2024. And there's even more in store for 2025. Don't miss out on your chance to win big with Supreme Ventures games in 2025. Please join us again at 3 p.m. for more games you love to play. I am Dehandra. Have a supreme afternoon.
Hope you were a big winner. Play your favorite Supreme Ventures games every day and tune in for our live draw 6 times a day at 8:30 a.m., 10:30 a.m., 1 p.m., 3 p.m., 5 p.m., and 8:25 p.m. on this station. Supreme Ventures, making winners every day.
That was the lunchtime top draw dollars, pick 2, pick 3, pick 4, hot pick, and cashpot draws. Congratulations to all of today's winners. Join us again at 3 p.m. for another chance to win in hot pick and cashpot special pot draws. If you're just joining us, we are on the road to success and we're journeying with none other than Kemani Marley. Now, before the cashpot break, Kemani, you were telling us the very first time you went to the United States and you arrived at night and you were about to give us the big reveal when we had to run.
No, so so as I was saying, I remember coming in the night and just thinking, and this me see in my vision. This was not it, right? It was still dark, and went in and I woke up the next morning and walk outside and was ready to go back to Jamaica immediately.
Wow. Not the
Because,
American dream.
the American dream was a disaster, to say the least, right? Because the boardhouse of me I live in Jamaica is probably a little bit better than the boardhouse I'm come to in Miami.
Wow.
Right. And then, on top of that, I live on a block where across the street I woke up to crackheads every morning.
Wow.
I woke up to junkies, every morning. Morning, noon, and night. That was the neighborhood. And my very first morning in America, my two neighbor them have a shootout, right? The shootout is taking place across the back of my yard. I'm at the back door. Inner cities. Shootout, and I'm at the back door watching it like it's a tennis game.
Wow.
Not knowing, not really knowing the danger I was in at that moment. You know what I mean? And yeah, and that was my opening week to America.
Wow.
Yeah.
How were you able to say, like leave out of that situation? Like what was your plan?
I mean, sometime as a youth, so there is no plan.
Oh yeah, because you were a child at that point. Yeah.
Yeah, that moment is survive. You know what I mean? The plan have to go. You have to create the plan as we move. But you're really just dropping a survival, wherein the first thing is to survive. And once you can find a balance, then you can start to make a plan. But yeah.
Yeah.
But I want to tell you, that little house I'm living in, right? It's about 9 of us, 2-bedroom. But that little place was just filled with so much love, right? That the looks of the house didn't matter, because all the love that was inside of it made it a mansion. Right. But yeah. So we got through it for a little bit. But it was a nice time.
Yeah, no, I totally
It
get
was a
that.
nice time, to say the least. With even everything we go on and everything we face, it was. Reflecting on it now, would I do it again?
Like you said, you wouldn't change
Would I
anything.
change some things, but would I do it again?
Okay. No, and then that was a question, with you talking about, the bitterness that you felt, and it brought us there. And then also all of that helping us to understand how Shutters, your portrayal in the movie, why everything was just kind of so natural, because you have that grit. No, Shutters, One Love, Necessary Badness are some of the films that you are a part of. Have there ever been like an uncomfortable scene, like something that you didn't really want to do, and how were you able to condition your mind to say, snap into a character?
Uncomfortable scene? No, not really. I think really it's just becoming that person. You know what I mean? So sometimes we have to just allow ourselves to step outside ourselves, for the art. Don't step too far out, though, Just step outside of yourself a little bit. And, you know, be free to, all right. Acting is all about just becoming that person. You know, that's all. That's all the focus is. So
What?
it was. Go ahead.
No, I was going to ask you, what do you think about Kingsley Benadir's portrayal of your dad in the Bob Marley One Love movie? And I know a lot of persons were saying, why isn't Kemani in the movie? Like, he is an actor.
Like it. Yeah, man. I like it. Did you enjoy it?
I did. I watched this. I really love it. I understood the concept. It was in a specific time period. I went in and I think it showcased your dad. It covered all the areas in terms of, you saw his love for Rastafari. You saw the religious aspect, and you see, him being a husband and a father and balancing music and all of that. I liked it. Yeah. No. No, so from the Bob Marley One Love movie, the soundtrack, it won the Grammy, the 2025 Grammy for Best Reggae Album. I see, first of all, congratulations. And I see, where you and your brother Rohan, you didn't take it as far as SYM, but, you say like...
What me say?
No, but I saw your post and it was just like, yeah, in win. But what do you make of critics who are thinking that once a Marley is in a category, then it's a done deal, a Marley I go win?
Well, we try already and we never win, so that not that.
Yeah, 2021. No, 2001
that's
actually.
True, but I mean, people are gonna feel how they want to feel. You know what I mean? What can I say? People have the right to feel what they want to feel, but it's definitely not what a lot of people is trying to make it out to be. We put in the work. Of course, other people deserve to win as well. Not against that. I'm a fan. I'm a big fan of Cartel as well, right? So, other people, sincere, likewise. What can I say? There's not much I can say about that.
No, let's... No, continue.
No, I said, it's not really much to say about that, People going to feel how they want to feel, and people have the right to feel how they want to feel. People have the right to express themselves. But I mean, it's definitely that. I know I have an album coming out, and it almost makes me feel like, yeah, that's it. I'm not even bother want to enter mine,
No, it's still enter, but why you would want?
Yeah.
Why you would feel like it?
Listen, for us, it's always been about the craft, Putting the work into the craft. My family is a family where take music very serious. Very serious. Like, this is written in the DNA. And, if people vote and say, we win, I don't hear somebody say online, say, my father make a deal with the Grammy board. say anytime I'm all enter, them have to...
How do you feel when you see those comments? Do you take them? How do you feel when you see comments like that online, like knowing just the rich legacy of your dad, but when people try to kind of, make statements like that?
Something I feel no way. I don't feel no way at all. Because like I said, people have the right to express themselves, and our views is not, them not always going to align, Next time maybe you will be rejoicing something when I say, no, son, I shouldn't say it, so. I have the right to feel how me want to feel, and people have the right to feel how they want to feel, so. I'm not paying no attention.
let's talk about your project. You mentioned, you have your album coming out, and I know you released your first single, New Creature. The song in itself, it's again, I find it to be a very deep song. Talk to us about the personal connection and meaning of that song as it relates to you.
New Creature is about finding yourself. You know, New Creature is about looking a little deeper. I say it all the time that so many of us go through life not knowing who we are because our entire life was spent on pleasing someone else's wishes, and sometimes people, you have some people who are looking to the mirror and see a perfect stranger, right? Because even looking at themselves and don't know who they are. So for me, New Creature was about digging a little deeper and finding yourself and not being afraid to be true to who you are, unapologetic. Right? And people say relax, you go through some things in life, right? And sometimes you need a rebirth. And for me, cutting my locks at the time that I did was something that I needed to do. To really just start again. You carry so much energy, and even through the time of your younger years with all the hands I got through there, and the different people who twist and roll for you, and just all the other things where you go through in life, and it's for me it was a spiritual changing, right? It was looking deeper, trying to find my deeper self, and the rebirth, and with the rebirth, you have a new creature.
Did like sometimes as individuals, like when we get on a path or we feel like we need to have a rebirth, or even the cutting of your hair, like that is so symbolic. Like sometimes we go through like some tough situations and times. Did you experience anything specific that actually led to removing your locks and kind of like you said a rebirth?
I don't think it was one specific thing. I think it was just a part of the journey, For me, let me say, yo, turn off that. For me, it was just a time. It was just, it's like that was just my spirit talking to me, I know that you have times in your life, you have these times in your life, so you have to make a change. It's where the change happens, it's when you move from boy to man, it's when you move from immaturity to maturity. And you have those times. So for me, it was just a spiritual shift in that moment. And yeah, but, that was it. So here comes the new creature. But the new creature of some old ways.
Yes, and I have the song. I'm gonna give our listeners a little bit of it, like before the interview ends. Like a teaser.
Legal. Yeah. Visionary. Rasta. Big vibes run rampant. Tall like giants. Miracles before my eyes, I see. Taking form. Rebirth, new creature.
Rebirth, new creature. No, I went the tour with your brothers. I saw the Georgia leg of it. Really, really awesome. It was a great tour. What would you say was like a memorable moment of that tour for you with your brothers?
From start to finish. Yeah, from start to finish. This was for me just a magical moment to First of all, to be sharing the stage with my family. Every time we share the stage, which is usually once or twice a year, those are always the moment, that I look forward to. And to be able to do this night after night for, I think it was like a month and a half, was just magical. Not only doing it together, but knowing what we're doing it for,
Mm-hmm.
the Legacy Tour. So it was amazing, man, from start to finish. Like,
Mm-hmm.
my most
I know.
valuable possession are my memories.
Wow. No, you subsequent that tour, I know last year you announced your Love and Energy US tour, and then subsequent to the announcement, you said that the tour was going to be canceled as a result of an injury that you sustained. How is the healing process going, and are there plans to reveal new dates for that tour?
Yeah, doing much better now. We're actually looking for dates. I think it's early this summer. Right now we're
Mm-hmm.
talking about maybe May, June, to get back on the Love and Energy tour. We have another single that's being released on the 28th, and the album should be releasing shortly after. Don't have the exact date yet, but
Mm-hmm.
very shortly after. So, right around the time where we would begin touring again.
Mm-hmm. I know today's celebrations are being held locally and internationally, for your dad. A celebration is currently underway at the Bob Marley Museum as we speak. What's one thing about your father's legacy that the world gets wrong?
That the world gets wrong?
Mm-hmm.
I think the world gets it right.
The world gets it right. Okay,
Yeah,
great.
I don't mean not one person in the world will get it wrong yet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I haven't met that fella.
No, musically, what are you? I know you said that the album, is coming out in the summer, but outside of music, is there movies or anything that we can look forward to? I know there were talks about a Shutters 2. Where are things with that?
Yeah, I have a movie coming out this summer, Vendetta.
Mm-hmm.
Finalizing that project right now. Vendetta / Necessary Badness. That is this Necessary Badness. And
What?
also have a soundtrack coming out shortly after that, which will be a different feel from the album. So
Mm-hmm.
I have a lot in store for you this year. 2025, I have a lot in store for you.
All right, so we're looking forward to it. Is there a specific role that you would want to play that you haven't played yet? Like we know, you have the gangster thing, Lock. You have the lover boy thing, Lock as well. Is there a specific role that you'd want to tap into?
Not that specific, but I would definitely love to be challenged.
Mm-hmm.
So I will definitely, I'm definitely looking forward to a challenge. So. Yeah, you can give me something else. Give me a lawyer. Give me a doctor. Give me a preacher if you mean.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. For people who are listening, though, and how would you define success? Whether personally or professionally.
Success is just putting you all into what you're doing, and and completing whatever it is you started. And once you've done that, you're successful. And from there, you do what you need to do to get it to the masses. But success, we don't waste success on just the streams. So you feel like if you not get a certain amount of streaming, you're successful. No, you're successful at that point when you have started and finished something, and you have put your all into that. That is where success starts.
Mm-hmm. And as you mentioned, the whole streaming, we see where the digital platform and the digital space has definitely, changed the way how people even consume or put out music. How has it impacted, you personally, even in terms of how you interact and communicate with your fans?
I mean, yeah, it impacted me in a way wherein it got me a lot closer to my fans. It allowed me to really know what my fans, are looking forward from it. Being able to, you're connected. We're all connected. So being able to have that personal touch to it always, that's a plus. And of course, the streaming thing is the era, so we have to move it,
Move with the times.
Yeah, we have to move with the times.
Mm-hmm. Kimani Marley, the family man, what can you tell us?
I love my children.
Mm-hmm. Are you a strict dad, fun dad, cool dad?
I'm the dad I need to be at the time I need to be that dad.
Mm-hmm. That's a great answer.
Yeah, man.
And finally, before you leave us, what advice would you give to an upcoming artist, somebody listening right now who wants to enter the music, but, they need some inspiration and they may think that, look, I don't even have the right last name. What advice you give to those persons listening?
I mean, just be true to your passion. You know what I mean? If you're passionate, if you're really passionate about something, you cannot fail. You know what I mean? So know what it is you want to do. Know what it is you're passionate about. And, just approach it that way. And there is no way that you fail. And that is it.
All right. Just be driven by passion. Kimani Marley, thank you so much. This was absolutely awesome. I appreciate you taking out time from your schedule on this significant day that celebrates your dad's 80th to take us on your journey and help us to better understand the Marley siblings and just, you, Kimani Marley. Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
All right. And of course, we have to give you a new creature, This person says Kimani really sells his father 100% the positive light, and that's coming from Everton in Central Kingston.
Big vibes run rampant, tall like giants.
This one said, me think me did love Kimani before, but I know me love him.
Take it forward. Rebirth, new creature. Words from the preacher. God gon' still forgive a bad man. God gon' still forgive a bad man. Legal. Yeah. Visionary. Big vibes run rampant. Tall like giants. Miracles before my eyes, I see. Take it forward. Rebirth, new creature. Words from the preacher. God gon' still forgive a bad man. God gon' still forgive a bad man. See how Jah works in mysterious ways. Blind man said that he sees today. Deaf man said that he heard what he said. Got them screaming out more life, no strife. What's in my temper? What's in the fight? What's in the vibes? And now they play out. You know that energy always speaks loud. Big vibes run rampant, tall like giants. Miracles before my eyes, I see. Taking form. Rebirth, new creature. Words from the preacher. Jah gon' still forgive a bad man. Jah gon' still forgive a bad man.
Come and enjoy your Wendy's Dave's Classic, our signature square burger, served hot off the grill with the best ingredients.
The time is...
It is now 1:31.
Do it for your best life. Good. Go check your HIV.